everybody's gonna work. You're gonna work till the day you die.
She was like, how dare you not invite me to speak?
Girls are so weird. I would rather use my mind and my mouth to make money than to use my hands and my feet.
Here's the thing. What she wanted to talk about is very similar to what I would teach about. She just randomly stops responding.
But because they gave me this help, they thought that I was just supposed to do their hair for free.
And we're hitting her up. I'm hitting her up, like DMing her. We're emailing her all the things. Nothing. It's radio silent. Mm-hmm.
So that's why I moved into like creating my own hair care products. Also, I was making my own hair care products to grow my hair when I had like a little shortcut like a man.
What is up? I am Chanel Q, and this is another episode of the Hustle Talks podcast. And I finally have my very, very first guest. So this is Kai. Say hey. I know I can't hear y'all, but this is Kai. This is my business bestie. And not only is she a bomb hairstylist that actually takes care of your hair, but she actually started her own product-based business. So we are going to get into some things today, but we're also going to have just some real talk, because Hustle Talks is all about the good, the bad, the ugly of entrepreneurship, and not just about the fluff that you hear on the internet or just about the basic business strategies. So we're going to get into some things. I'm super excited because it took so long for us to get this together. Like,
it's all right. We here.
Right.
We have to make it happen.
Yes. It took forever, like literally an hour and some change. Yeah. to get it together, because we couldn't figure out how to use two mics at the same time. But you know, I'd rather be doing something and figure it out than to not be doing something and not make the progress. So the fact that I just learned how to do this, and I learned to work around, because it's not even the official way. It's really like the backdoor way. So super excited about that. So, hey, Kai.
Hey, Chanel.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's a nice day outside. You know what I'm saying? It's real nice in here. I'm loving the vibes. The vibes is vibing.
The vibes is vibing.
I like it.
Yes. We got shoes on and everything. Like, we're at a legit podcast studio. When it's really just, you know, my office turned into a podcast, but it's okay because humble beginnings. But I'm super excited to have you here, because I don't know who else would be a great first guest, and also who else I would welcome in my office, in my house. So, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
Like first, at least. Yeah, we got a list together, but you're still top of the list, which is why you're first.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I guess before we get into some things, why don't you just say a little bit about who you are, what you do, why you excited to be here?
Okay. What's up, y'all? I'm Hairstylist Kai. I am a licensed hairstylist. I've been a licensed hairstylist for about 10 years now. I focus on natural hair care and worrying about the strength of your hair before a style. That's some things about me. Oh, I have my own natural hair care line. How could I forget? I have my own natural hair care line. It's plant-based, and it basically targets things like dandruff, hair growth, and breakage, things like that. I also am very happy to be here. What I'm looking forward to gaining from this experience, I think that's what you asked me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm loving the professional response. Like, she's over here like putting on for y'all. Like, yeah, I'm Kai, and what do I want to gain from this experience? Like,
I'm like, what did she say again? I'm trying my best. Okay. But no, I'm hoping that we could I already know that we're going to have an open dialogue, open conversation about just the ins and outs, and just really able to kind of give my story about some of the things that I've been not going through like it's a bad thing, but like my journey. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And hopefully that this episode inspires somebody. So yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. I love that. It's all about impact, inspiration. Yeah. Yes. And so we are going to like get into all of that and get into the journey, but I came up with a really, really fun game.
Ooh, game.
Yes.
What's the game?
Yes.
You tell me earlier.
Yeah, I did it. And I left the instructions and everything for the game sitting here while I went to go find shoes. And so I high key feel like she looked.
I did not look.
You didn't look.
I did not look.
Pinky promise you didn't look.
I would not betray you like that.
Okay. You ain't. Wait, we need to get into that.
Two things. I might tell a joke, but I never tell a lie. I never tell a lie.
Okay. All right, so the game, right? So Hustle Talks is pretty much all about sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly of entrepreneurship. And the way that I explain it is that the good is the stuff that people normally always talk about. Like they're telling you the strategies to get more money, to grow online, all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. The bad is the stuff that you have to go through in order to grow. So you got to grow through these things. It may happen to you, or you may have to learn a certain skill in order to get to a new level. Mm-hmm. The ugly, that's the stuff you can't change. So like my grandpa passing, I can't change that. But how grief affects you as an entrepreneur is the ugly side of things, or how people act in entrepreneurship is the ugly side of things that people don't really talk about or go deep into.
Right.
So the game is, there are 3 cards, right? Pink is good, yellow is bad, and then blue is ugly because I don't like blue. So these are the 3 colors. And pretty much what we're going to do is I'm going to have you pick whichever one you want to start off with.
Okay.
I then have 3 different topics on these papers right here. So once you pick whichever one you want to start with, you pick from the topic, and then you have to share that particular thing about the topic. That makes sense? Mm-hmm. So if you pick good and then you pick a topic and it says food, you got to say something good about food. Right?
Okay.
Get it?
I'm going to be messy. So we start right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're going to be messy?
I'm going to be messy, and we just going to end it on a lighter note with the good one.
You sure you want to start? You sure you want to start heavy? You sure you don't want to?
No, we're going to start ugly.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're going to do it. 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 So I picked ugly. All right, so now I got to pick the topic.
Yeah, which one of these 3?
I'm going to choose this one.
Okay.
All right. Why did I have to pick this one? Okay, so I got...
Let's get to it. See, you should have picked the last.
No, not people ugly. Ugly people. Okay, so
what's ugly about people in the entrepreneurship space?
Okay. So... Let me think about it.
I'm about to take my shoes off because I'm low-key want to put my feet on the couch.
For real?
Yeah. So I can turn and look at you because it's kind of weird.
Dang, I'm trying to think about which one I want to talk about.
I'm with it. So whatever you share, I'm with it.
We're going to talk about people, you said ugly people in the entrepreneur industry.
Mm-hmm.
It could
Entrepreneurship.
be beauty industry too.
Mm-hmm. Just something ugly about people in entrepreneurship. Whichever angle you want to take.
I want to talk about like people.
I think it's gonna pick you up.
Big broing you, like little bro. Like I'm little bro, and they try to be big bro. So basically, long story short, I'm gonna summarize it because it's a long story, y'all. But to have a mentor is to have somebody that really cares about you and really pours into you, and kind of don't have any backhanded things on the back end that they want to get from you or feel like they're entitled to, right? And so when I was first starting out as a hairstylist, I had contacted this person and they gave me, some help in some areas and everything like that. But because they gave me this help, they thought that I was just supposed to do their hair for free.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, well, I paid you for the help. And it was like a bargain type of thing. Yeah. It wasn't a physical payment, but it was still bargaining. And I'm like, okay, well, we already worked our deal out. So that's not a part of our deal. And we're like on a high basis now. But I just kind of feel like that was, kind of like backhanded. Like that was kind of real and like wasn't really cool. So I would say that is like the thing you kind of have to worry about when you're in the industry is like who's really there to help you, or kind of like
if they're trying to use you for what you can offer or like clout or something like that.
Everybody's getting used. We use each other. But the thing about it is to be genuine about it, I guess, and be upfront too. No, so I just feel like, just kind of being backhanded and just having an ulterior motive about what you really want from that person or what you want to help them out with. That's what I encountered on like this entrepreneur industry, and especially in Atlanta. I know people talk about that a lot, but that is, I've met better people like you, especially in this entrepreneurship journey. But I've met some people who really are mean nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
It's interesting that you said everybody gets used, because I never thought about it that way. But in a sense, it's like everybody should provide value.
Yeah.
That's within your circle. But I guess what you're saying is that this person came in knowing that they wanted their hair done for free, or if you think that's what it was, like she came in knowing she wanted, or you think she was just trying to get you to do her hair, when in reality you were supposed to be learning from her, and maybe she got like scared of something, of you surpassing her, so she said, "Hey, just do my hair."
Yeah, trying to keep you like a lower pedestal than where they are. So yeah, I would say that you summed that up.
Yeah. No, for real. I can relate to that. Like, so I know that's the beauty industry, but definitely in the coaching space too. Or honestly, it's just entrepreneurs in general. I think that sometimes people are scared to work with you because they see your potential. And if they work with you and somehow give you a little bit of their sauce, that you're going to surpass them, and they're scared about that. And it's like, baby, it's a lot of money in the world. That's one. Two, I feel like everybody has a unique brand, or should have a unique brand. So the angle you take to solve a certain problem, I'm not going to take that same angle. And although we may have our audience that overlaps from time to time, collaboration is always like over competition. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. It's interesting you said that for the ugly people. I thought you was going to say something else.
What you thought I was going to say?
These people out here really ain't friendly, huh? That's what I was going to say. They're not. Well, I'm not friendly either. I'm an antisocial extrovert. I remember I told you that one time. He was like, "Ooh, that's me too." Like, I'm very extra and out there, but I have to feel comfortable with you first. So for me, it's kind of like a vibe check, I guess. I'll sit and like observe a lot of things to see how you move and all of that, and to really just get comfortable before I am like my over the top self, because I'm very transparent. I am very open, and I don't want to just be out here like saying a whole bunch of stuff and about my life. Yes.
Some to the other group of girls or whatever. Right. Spreading rumors.
Exactly. But I'm still nice. I'm still super nice. Even though I'm not friendly. Like, I be pushing myself to be super nice. But it's some girls that they'll be fake nice and they ain't really there. Or they'll take the smallest things and run with it and make that this big old thing. And it's like, this one small thing, if you were grown enough to just talk about it, we could be like, the best of friends probably. But I don't know. It's just weird.
Some people, what I've learned is, as I got older, is people don't like conflict. And I used to be one of those people that didn't really like conflict, but I feel like with the people that I'm around, I have a lot of tough conversations that force me to grow and have a better mindset. So maybe I just feel like they just aren't fortunate enough to have people around them that actually care about them. That'd be I'll be like, you must not got nobody around you to tell you like how you really coming off, or, about yourself. So I just, they really just don't have people who care about them.
Yeah, because you're doing yourself a disservice by walking around in La La Land thinking that you're right all the time. Like, it could be something. I'm going to tell a story. And because for me, so, I had the event, the brand takeoff in October. It was my first event ever. So just to explain how this went down, to give backstory for y'all, because Kai knows, but I would just act like I didn't already tell her. Okay. So the brand takeoff, I had always said I wanted to have an event, but I had never done it. So then last year I was like, I'm going to do it. And I tapped into one of my mentors, and I went with her to DR, and we sat down for like 5 days and we knocked stuff out for the event. Came back, that was August. We came back, went straight to Invest Fest for you. Yep. So when was Invest Fest? What date was that?
It was like the end of August, maybe like August 23rd. 24th, maybe.
So pretty much September. So once Invest Fest was over with, right? Because we was there. Kai was like, we only need help like one day for a few hours.
It turned into like 3 days, y'all.
3 days.
Because we had a whole build out, It was nice. It was real nice. The setup was crazy. Chanel helped out a lot too.
Yeah, we was over there sweating. I drug Andy there because at the time.
Oh, if we didn't have Andy, that stuff wouldn't
that stuff wouldn't have gotten up. I drug Andy there. I was like, what you got going on? He was like, why? I'm like, Then we end up being there for 3 days. We would literally wake up and drive to downtown Atlanta. And we live in the South. Drive to downtown Atlanta and then don't come home until it's rush hour traffic. But anyway.
Wait. Y'all, they was taking calls at InvestFest and everything. I love y'all for that. Thank you so much. I got to say thank you. I don't know if I did say thank you, but I'm going to say thank you on
camera?
Television. Mm-hmm.
Not national television. Mm-hmm. I mean, hey.
It's going to existence.
Period. but no, so yeah, after InvestFest, that's when I really locked in because I went to DR and literally came back, went straight to the InvestFest and then locked in on the event afterwards. So pretty much the top of September. The event happened October 19th and 20th. What does that mean? That's 6 weeks pretty much, right? Mm-hmm. So when I met with my mentor and the 5 of the ladies who were there, we all were saying the events we were having were just solely for us to teach and connect with our community and just to cross it off our list that we actually did it, right? So I had no intention of having guest speakers, nothing like that. The sole purpose was to be able to just touch my audience and to really just put another layer to my brand because I highly obviously believe in building a brand and building a community. And so as I'm planning things, I'm talking about that. The only person that I had thought about inviting was one of my past clients who had recently became a full-time entrepreneur, and she was only a year and some change into entrepreneurship. And I said, oh my goodness, like I just felt led to invite her to come and just share her testimony. That's it. It wasn't really to teach a session. It was more like to just share and to inspire the ladies who were going to be there because all of them were within like their first few years of entrepreneurship or about to launch. Yeah. So that's the only person I reached out to. I didn't reach out to anybody else. I literally, even Kai was helping me. Her boyfriend was helping me. And I was just like, oh no, girl, I'm doing this. I got to teach all these sessions. Woo, woo, woo. And so.
Do you need help? I can help you. What do you need me to do?
Right? She's like, do you need help? Do you need me to teach something? I'm like, no, girl, no. And so as I started putting stuff up on Instagram, the branding and the visuals were on point, I guess, that people started reaching out to me in my inbox and they're like, oh, you're having this event. They automatically assumed it was a conference because everybody in Atlanta does conferences, and I literally no shade.
No.
Because James' conference is going to be lit.
Yeah. Back to back. Yeah. BS.
About BS, right? And we talk about this. Yeah.
Information
at all. So me and her boyfriend and like Andy, my husband, we all be talking about this. So it's no shade to James. But literally everybody in Atlanta has conferences. And it just be inviting the same people over and over and over again, talking about the same things. And you leave there sometimes with no substance. So I didn't want my event to be that. I wanted it to be like a summit, and I wanted to be intentional where you came and you got a transformation of some sort. So whenever people would reach out to me, I would tell them that. I'm like, hey, it's not a conference, it's a summit. I'm actually doing all the teaching sessions, I guess to them, maybe it came off as me being selfish and not trying to put people on. But in reality, it was literally an intimate summit. I would even tell people I plan on making this like larger next year, and I'm gonna keep you, in mind. Mm-hmm. It was this one particular person who happened to live in Atlanta.
Okay.
She lives in Atlanta, and she DM'd me and was like, hey girl, I really want to, be around like-minded women, and I forgot, something like that. I showed you the DM. I don't remember, something like that. Start networking and get outside. Girl power. And she's married too. So, and I was like, okay, cool. I just got married in 2022. Let's do it. Like, I'm looking for some people who's like-minded, all the things, because I like to be around good people. I talk about a lot of big like dreams. I talk about taking action to make them, all that sort of stuff. Like, that's who I am, like in all areas of life. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I let her, here's the thing. What she wanted to talk about is very similar to what I would teach about, right? It was brand related in some sort. Mm-hmm. And I said, girl, go ahead. Because once again, I don't care. Like, what's for you is for you. And at the end of the day, once again, I believe in having a unique brand. So what I be talking about and teaching about, literally, I live by it. So I'm like, okay, yeah, girl. So I put her on the schedule. Whoop, whoop, whoop. My event assistant at the time is like emailing her, trying to get details, da da da. She just randomly stops responding and goes ghost. And we're hitting her up. I'm hitting her up, like DMing her. We're emailing her all the things. Nothing. It's radio silent.
Watching your stories.
Watching my stories though. And it's radio silent. And so the event happens and she's watching everything. And even after the event, I feel like I reached out again because I'm like, is everything okay? I'm thinking maybe she got sick or something.
Right.
And she just, wasn't in a state to tell me. That was in October. Y'all, it is, what's today? May 21st.
Yes.
This girl still watches my stories.
That's so weird. Reads
my DMs. Doesn't respond. And I started to sense it maybe towards the end of the year. And I was like, is something going on? And I was like, maybe I'm tripping. So I sent her something. She had posted something. I'm not going to say what it was, but she posted something and I sent her ideas for what she was asking for. Read it. Did I tell you that part?
I don't think so.
She had posted saying I forgot, she was looking for something. And I sent her like 3 different options via DMs. Girl, she read my DMs.
And didn't respond.
Absolutely
didn't say
not.
Thank you.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
She sees you as competition.
Either that, or I think her and the other girl are in cahoots. Remember the other girl I told you about? That I'm not going to talk about on camera. But the other girl I told you about, they're in cahoots somehow. And I think the other girl, because she reached out to me saying, hey, do I need help with anything for the event? I sent her a voice note and I was asking for like advice for like logistics and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I guess she assumed the help that I would need would be speaking, because when I would look back on it, they reached out to me around the same time. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking they had some type of conversation. And because I ended up saying yes to homegirl that live in Atlanta, but not to homegirl that don't live in Atlanta, and I was saying, asking for advice for some things, she was like, how dare you not invite me to speak?
Girls are so weird.
Yeah, there's another layer to this, but I'm not going to say it because then that would be really messy. But she was, how dare you not invite me to speak? When in reality, I had plans for this girl and I had been inviting this girl to other things. Right. Like when Hustle Talks Live was a thing, I invited her. She just never said anything. She would come to Atlanta and visit. Every time I would see on her story she's here, I would hit her up and I would say, hey, like, why didn't you tell me you were here? Let's go grab lunch. She'd be like, next time when I come back. But
next time when I come back.
Yeah. But yeah, you feel shade.
You make time for what you want to make time for.
Right. So yeah, people are interesting. I think the big takeaway from this is that you got to find the people who are going to feed into you and really just be around a collaborative community of women who are going to support you and cheer you on, because that actually helps you to keep going. Yep. Yeah.
And too, when you like, I'm a part of that one group. Dang, what's the name? Fortune and Fiasco. We went to the event. So like, I feel like I met one of them through my friend Shafan, who's the makeup artist. That was her client. We had like a content day. She was the model. Her name's India. And she invited me to come to the events. And I feel like once I be going to the events, girl, I done gained a lot of clientele, everything like that. But it also gives me like, I be talking about my bottles and like, new things that I have going on. You remember at one of those events. And it just really holds you accountable to have a real nice group of women that really care about your goals. I remember stuff they doing. They remember stuff I'm doing. And it just be like, not competition, but more so progression. And like, it gives you like a healthy competition to really progress in your own lane and to do everything that you said you was going to do. Because if you said at one time that you was going to have this podcast, I'm going to make sure, like, what's up with the podcast? Because you said you was going to do it, so I'm just here to make sure you're going to do it. Yeah. But I feel like when you have that, like I said, they don't have people that care about them. But when you have people that care about you and really love you and really want to see you progress, not only because it feeds, like I said, it provides value for everybody. And if you calling me complaining all the time, you're not giving me no value. Like, I'm not getting nothing from this conversation if you're just complaining. But
where's the action behind it? If you're going to complain about something, I expect you to say, this is my plan A, this is my plan B. All right. Now we have progressive complaints, but it's the people who just complain and they don't do anything.
And
they
then throw off your advice.
Yeah.
That's just you, or, oh, I can't do that because X, Y, and Z. It just be like, yep, I'm never going to be talking to you again about it. Don't call me. Don't call me. I can't help you.
At all.
But, okay, what's the next one?
Yes. Which one you want to go with? We went deep into people.
Yeah, ugly people.
Good.
We're going to do bad.
Okay.
It don't look good though. Okay, bad. What is this one?
I don't know. You gotta open it.
Bad money.
Ooh, so what's something bad about money? So remember, this one can be really like a lesson too. It can be something you have to learn. It's tough. It's like a tough lesson that you have to learn in entrepreneurship about money. What's something you gotta learn, or what's something that you can flip in with the proper work ethic or the proper lesson or strategy. You could flip into something good about money. In business.
One time I messed up some money. That's my take on bad money.
Okay.
I am a slow thinker.
It's okay.
Okay, I automatically thought about the time that when I was getting my bottles and everything. So I had basically made this formula for the shampoo and conditioner, but I outsourced it to a manufacturer, and which I outsourced it. Okay, I've outsourced it to the manufacturer for them to make it and bottle it for me. It was costing like $10 a bottle. This was when I was just starting out. Now I'm like, $10 a bottle. How are you gonna make money? Like that makes no sense. You have to get your stuff at a low cost to really make profit. Well, that's really in anything that you do. That's a product-based business. Not to say it has to be at a low cost, but it has to be at the lowest cost. $10 is too high for shampoo and conditioner to be paying for when you got other things to pay for. So basically, he was charging me $10 for the formula to be made and for it to be bottled. And then I contacted him, and he didn't work there no more. And I was like, oh dang, he really was charging me $10 a bottle, and he does not work there anymore. So what am I gonna do? Because he was the middleman. I was really paying the middleman to get me my product made, and he was taking his product off the top, y'all. I forgot what I did. I think I had shipped something to the warehouse or the manufacturer's warehouse. So I actually got the name of the manufacturer. So I was able to Google it and get it and then talk to them directly without him. If I didn't do that, I would be having to find a whole another manufacturer and go through that whole thing again. And it would have pushed back my production like probably 6 to 12 months. I probably wouldn't have launched when I was able to launch.
Wait, so you said he was charging you $10, but he was the middleman, so the actual price wasn't $10.
Correct. I'm about to get
okay.
I found the real manufacturer that was actually not him. I thought it was him, but it wasn't him. So when I found the manufacturer, it got down to be maybe like, let me see. I got to do my math on this one real quick. It got down to be $2.
What?
$2 for the formula and maybe like $1 for the bottle. So I got it down to $3 from 10.
Wait, so he was eating $7?
$7. And at that time, I didn't really have a lot of capital. So I'm buying just 100 bottles. I'm buying like just a little bit just so I can, not really making no money, but I'm just buying it just to say I'm doing it basically. You know how sometimes when you do business, you don't really do your profit margins and like.
Yeah, you just out here saying you're selling stuff just to sell stuff. Yeah, throwing prices.
$10, I'm going to just double it and sell it for $20. Yeah. I can. But I'm doing that or whatever. And then when I got that real information from them, it was like $2 for the formula, about $1 for the bottle. So it got it down to like maybe $3. And that was like a game changer for me because I was just thinking like, bro, if I would have listened to like my boyfriend who was kind of saying like, $10 a bottle, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of brushing it off. It was just like, that was a real good lesson for me, because I feel like sometimes we be so headstrong and thinking that, we know everything, or like, I got it.
We as entrepreneurs, or we as women entrepreneurs specifically?
I would probably say both, but more so women, because I see it in all other aspects, and I see it on social media all day, especially people they ratchet podcasts and talk about relationships and all that type of stuff. But I just think that really too, as a woman, sometimes when a man is telling you something, you like, I don't really know about that, versus if a woman tell you, it's like, or like if you was to tell me something, I probably would be more receptive back then, versus if James had told me beforehand. Does that make sense? Like he said it first, but then when you said it, I really was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like that really was like a big lesson for me, because I really threw away money. Like that could have really.
That's $7.
$7.
100 bottles
that he's eating.
That's $700.
Correct.
I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money right now.
Yes. Yeah. $7 a bottle, 100, and I was buying 100 of each.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
for each product.
100
but
each is like.
You said, so you think women listen to other women?
Yes.
I feel like men listen to other men.
I agree. Versus, I feel like this was another thing I think we had talked about before too. When you have someone that is an expert in that field, no matter if it's a man or a woman, and that's kind of what I was going through too. You don't really take heed to what they say. I don't know why, but
I think it's just because they're your partner, or they're just there. You take them for, I don't want to say for granted, because that sounds bad.
You overlook
them. But yeah, you overlook them a little bit, because it's like, oh, you're just saying this. You're just nagging me. Yeah. Because like for me in my relationship, Andy's still in corporate America. So there's a lot of things I was saying, even when we both were in corporate America, I still have like an entrepreneurial mindset. So I would be telling him certain things and he'll just be like, okay, here you go nagging me again. Here you go doing this. Here you go doing that. We used to do YouTube together. We had a couples channel back when it was popping. Like, but I used to be on him all the time. Like, let's record, let's bulk record, let's do this. And it would be like pulling teeth sometimes. But the minute he saw, I don't know, somebody else or ran into somebody else that was a male in Atlanta and had a conversation, he came home one time like all pumped. He's like, let's get back into YouTube. And I'm like, baby, now I got my own YouTube. And I got a whole business. I don't even, like,
my dude.
Yeah. And I think I told you he did that with Suave Lajon too, where I gave him the name. Like, I don't know why this name came to me. I gave him the name. This was years ago, probably 2016. And I said, you're going to do something with this. And I told him, you dress really nice, like in suits and all of that. And people always compliment like your socks.
That boy's sharper than a pencil.
He be sharp. Like, he's the one, he going to be dressed down, 3-piece suit. He don't care what these people in Atlanta got going on. They can have their pants to their ankles and have on Gucci, Fendi, and Louis mixed together. He gonna have on suit. Like, that is one thing about Andy.
Nice color too.
Yeah, a nice color that you can't find. So I was telling him that, and I was like, maybe you could do something with it. He was like, no. But then fast forward, he ends up having a conversation. I can't remember who had this conversation with him, and now all of a sudden he was like, yeah, I'm gonna start Suave Lajon. And I'm like, okay.
But you know what? I talked to him about this too. Sometimes it just gotta happen when it happens. whenever the message comes to them.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's just meant.
We're not the messenger.
I don't know.
Or he's not the messenger for you because that was your part of the story.
Well, no, I'm saying that when it clicks, that's just what God intended. Like, it. Sometimes you gotta knock your head on something. And that's to really see, like, I don't know, like maybe it could have been taken away from you, or taken, overlooked, or dang, I really got this person in my corner. I should be utilizing them. Like I told you, everybody's valuable. Everybody get used in some way. So make sure you're useful and that person is useful as well. But I think that just making sure that you listen, don't, like, you're not blocking your blessings, because that's one thing too, like, if you don't listen, or if you're chewing a piece of chicken, chew the meat, spit out the bone. So like, take what's valuable.
You sound like an old lady with all of these things.
No, it's James. But
I'm sorry, I'm yelling. Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm just rescheduling it again.
Okay. But just basically take what you need out of the information that's given to you, and then spit out the bone. Like, make sure that it's what tailors towards you, what you can use, and then try. I always say, make sure you try. Somebody tell you something, just try it out. Like, you don't know until you try, and then come back like, okay, that didn't really work, but you got any more suggestions, or maybe I could do it this way, or but I just always say, like, make sure you try it out, because if you don't, you never know where you could be. You could be further along, and if you would have tried it 6 months ago, or you would have listened when you should have listened. But I feel like everything happens for a reason, and everybody's season is their season. That's the one time I messed up some money, boy.
So what have you done now? So since that was something that happened and that it was bad, you had to learn something to flip it into good. What do you do differently now to make sure that you find the person who is the actual manufacturer and not the middleman who is just flipping it?
So I don't take anything like kind of at face value. So if I'm researching something like right now, we're trying to see where we can get these bottles from.
New bottles.
Bottles. Right.
Upgraded bottles.
But we're going through these hoops and hurdles of like different manufacturers and their pricing, researching these bottles and everything. But like actually making sure that I spend time researching. Like, not just, I found something, I'm going to go buy it. Mm-hmm. I found this, I'm going to go buy it. Like, another time is they had these little curler things that, the little thing you put on, you clamp it, and then you just twist your hair around.
Absolutely not.
And it's like the heatless curls.
Absolutely not.
You never seen that? And it like pull out and then your hair is curled?
Maybe. Okay. I know nothing about hair for real.
Okay. So
I think so.
I know all things here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. But maybe, like, I feel like I've seen a non-ethnic person do that in a commercial.
Yes, a lot of
Okay. Then yes.
White tees be using it. So I had bought that and spent like $500 on it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sell this. I used it, and then it was just the hardest thing to use. I didn't test it out first. Mm-hmm. So now, like, I just make sure I research, I get samples, I see if I like it, I squeeze the bottle. If it's hair products, I use it for months on end before I actually make an investment, because you don't want to just be wasting money. Like, it's hard to get money out here, but like when you get it, you need to be making sure that it's making you more money, not just wasting the money. So I would say that's one thing that I'm doing differently, is not being so fast to spend money and like to react. Like, actually think about it. Okay, so if we know we need new bottles, or we know we need to pay an influencer. Okay, who's the influencer?
Me.
To get
I'm just kidding.
Right. We need to get what is it called? Pitch deck, or maybe pay a celebrity, or get a real big influencer with a YouTube or something like that. But we need to make sure that person either gives us a ROI, or their name is just so big. I don't care how much money I make. I worked with this person.
You want to be attached to them,
Right. So just making sure you take your time to research what it is that you're doing before you actually make a decision to spend money on that thing. Because sometimes you don't know what you're getting yourself into. Mm-hmm. Like, I be having a whole bunch of business ideas. I want to own a food truck. I want to do a content studio. I want to do a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm like,
food truck is wild.
I know.
Content studio seems more both of y'all speed. Actually, I could see that as a joint. Well, this one it technically is now, but I could see that as a.
I got a dope name for a food truck. I ain't gonna say it on here, but
what would the food even be?
I can't tell you because it got to do with the name.
Oh,
I ain't gonna tell you on here, but
okay.
Like, people be, you just protecting that name. You ain't gonna do nothing. I don't know if I'm gonna do something with it, but it's a real good name. I'm telling you. But no, I know that's real. Like, out left. I wouldn't run it or or
you would just hire people. You just own it. Kevin Hart
I would be
style.
like an angel investor or something.
Kevin Hart style.
Yeah, I wouldn't really own it. I just go in business with a cook or something.
Yeah,
something like that, maybe. But anyway, just making sure like you research the industry, because I could just go buy a food truck and I don't know nothing about food. I don't know nothing about the turnover rate with servers and people, cashiers, and all that stuff. Like then you get yourself into a whole bunch of hoopla. So I would just say make sure you research what it is you about to spend your money on before you spend your money on it, so it can actually make you money. Research the market that you're going to be in. Actually look at like, okay, what's some trends that's going on in the market? What are people using before you just go and buy that? I mean, I'm a hairstylist, so I love everything hair and beauty. So of course, all my examples are going to be hair and beauty. But like, if I was getting an edge control, like, are people using edge control? Or like a lot of things, the thing right now in the hair industry is hair growth. So like, making sure like, okay, what do I have a product that focuses on hair growth, because that's what people are talking about right now? Or my scalp, I have scalp like real bad dandruff, so does my products focus on that? Or just stuff like that. I really kind of wouldn't come out with like a hair dye or color, because I mean people gonna go to Target, or it's not really being talked about right now.
That makes a lot of sense, because I actually talk about market research. It's one of the things that aren't so pretty to talk about. So there are not a ton of videos on my channel that say market research up front. But if you watch my videos, you hear that I say do research often, even before you launch. Like when you're in business, before you launch, you're launching a new product, all that. You always have to do market research, because you need to see what demand is. You also need to see when certain things are trending. That one is a golden nugget, because you can say that, okay, yes, you know that you want to come out with this product because you know there's a demand, but when is the best time to come out with this product? When is the best time to release this collection? Yeah. You need to pay attention to the trends, because numbers don't lie, which means data don't either. And that's why I'm super big on data and doing market research. And like Kai said, like you said, I'm over here acting like I'm talking to a class now. But like you said, no, seriously, knowing what the return on investment could potentially look like, because people will go into a business and they'll buy all this stuff, invest in the products, they'll invest in this, invest in that, the aesthetics, but they never actually sat down to crunch the numbers. And 9 times out of 10, I tell you, every single time, like 9 times out of 10, there's a client who comes to me who could have met their goal selling less than what they actually have right now. So let's say somebody might come into business and they're like, oh, I need to sell 35 different things. When in reality, we could have sold 5 things, priced them right, branded them right, and you would have hit your goal, because I've seen it done before. Right. And I've done it before. Heck, the HBU still got, what was the inaugural collection? 4 items? Maybe 5?
I think so.
Yeah.
You had like, I think you had 4 because it was like 20, 30.
The top one was 99.
90.
So 100, yeah.
Yeah, and then there was another one that was like 60.
Yeah, probably.
Something like that.
Oh, yeah. 65 or something. Yeah, I should know this, but I don't right off the top of my head.
No.
You know. But no, and even that was strategic. So when you look at my inaugural collection, they all really complement each other. So what kept happening, especially when we first released, everybody wanted everything. And so you'd see somebody, if they couldn't afford everything at once, they would get maybe 2 and then come back the next week and get another 2, like on their next payday or something, like, which is good. It's what you want people to be able to do. So like with your kits, I'm pretty sure you thought about what are all the things that people would need in like a hair care routine to give them the ultimate clarity in their scalp, but then also the ultimate growth.
I call it the foundation.
The foundation? Oh, really?
Yep. It's
brand foundation. I call my stuff brand foundation too.
Yeah, because it's like the foundation for your hair.
Oh, okay.
So cleanse, condition, moisture, and sealing the moisture with oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really, once you figure that out, it's like you figure out your key component, like you did, like when people asking you all those questions or what they need help on, you figure out like 4 key things and sell that, like you said, sell that and sell more of those at that price. Then like less is more. Yeah. Too many options sometimes. Like you can grow into the too many options. Yeah. But people want to kind of know you for something. Like you want to be known for something.
Right. You want to build your brand around something. I'm so happy that you're saying that because it ties into like a lot of what I talk about. But I think because some people look at it and they're like, maybe I teach so much that they just don't listen. And so until somebody that's actually in their similar industry, like some people don't get it until it's somebody in a similar industry.
Yeah.
Which is
weird.
To me, I don't, because I pick up lessons from anywhere. Anybody who got the sauce, I'm grabbing it. I don't care if you sell cars, I can learn from that because one of my jobs in the past was working at a very large car rental company, and I learned a lot about sales there. And I'm not selling cars and insurance no more, but
sales isn't everything,
right?
You got to get on calls and sell.
Yeah, every time. I got one tomorrow.
You gotta, the person who talk less spend the most money.
Yeah. So you really can learn from different people. So I need for you to get out of that mindset because I feel like somebody's watching this and you're in that mindset where you feel like, oh, if I don't see somebody who is exactly in the field I want to be in or exactly in the industry I want to be in, I don't know if this is possible. When in reality, it's possible. Like if you have a vision for it, you take whatever the value is that you have from other mentors or other like pillars of information in your community, and you apply it to your brand and to what it is that you want to do. So, all right. So last one is good.
Okay. We ended it on a good note.
Yes. And it's product.
Oh.
And I got a secret.
Perfect.
I have a secret though.
Okay. What's the secret?
I was really hoping that you got everything that you got the way you got it. Yeah.
That's so funny.
And you actually did. Because I was like, it'd be perfect if you got good products so you can talk, like, you know, shed some light because it's really giving game. Good is all about giving game. Mm-hmm. So giving some good gems, some good value nuggets about products to help because my audience, they're a mixture of physical and digital products, all products nonetheless. So yeah. So what's something good about product?
Kind of like, is it good to sell a product or like some of the experiences that I've had selling products?
So a good experience, like you can say like an accomplishment you've had and then like how you got to that accomplishment or what's something good about selling the product and what's your strategy to make sure you can get to that ultimate goal of that good. Make sense?
Yeah. One thing that I've learned over my course of like starting, because I used to be, well, not used to, but I used to solely focus on being a service-based business. I'm a hairstylist, so work on my hands and work on my feet, using my hands every day. Work on my hands. I was going to say work on my hands, using my feet. But I'm doing that every day. And so I always was thinking like, okay, I cannot sit and stand behind this chair forever because my back hurt, my hands hurt. My feet hurt. It hurt. Like I want to live a soft life. Everybody want to live a soft life. But no, for real,
not me.
When I embark on the pregnancy journey, I want my feet to be up. Mm-hmm. I want to be sitting on the couch and just
you're not pregnant, are you?
All day. No.
Oh, okay. Wait. You slid that in.
Wait,
you slid that in real smooth. I was like, did I miss something? I know. I've been out of town. We didn't see each other in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I was like, what the heck happened? Okay,
no,
go ahead.
I can't have it. I can't have a baby right now. I already got a baby. It's the product. So I can't have another kid right now. Like I didn't want to be the old school hairstylist and that been there for 30, 40 years. That was never going to be me. And I was just like, okay, so what could be my exit strategy
scoot over. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
What could be my exit strategy to where I can, everybody's going to work. You're going to work till the day you die. It's just, you're going to work. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. So it's what you're going to work on. And I didn't want it to be physical labor. I would rather use my mind and my mouth to make money than to use my hands and my feet to make money any day. So I would rather hire people to do that. Mm-hmm. So that's why I moved into like creating my own hair care products. Also, I was making my own hair care products to grow my hair when I had like a little shortcut like a man. That's just a reference. I was basically kind of not bald, but I had a little curl. And so I grew my hair to where it is now. But I was just using these products, just doing homemade products. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to really just turn this into my exit strategy. Mm-hmm. And so The one of the good things that I learned about like selling products and is like people really want to know your story. I just told y'all my story, and it might have influenced you to buy the products. I don't know. Go buy the products, but you tell your story, and like if you share, people might resonate with that, or might be inspired, or they just might be like really in like with you to where they like, I just want to support her. So I'm gonna just, whatever she's selling, I'm gonna just support her. Or I'm gonna just support her journey, or I'm gonna just support her story. So like with selling the products, that was one thing. Like I always tell my story. I always make sure like I give you value on how the products can help you. I make sure that it solves a problem. One thing, because if you don't sell something that people need, when the economy goes bad and when people don't have money, they're going to get rid of you first. So like, that's why sometimes entertainment is going down, or media, or like different luxury things sometimes you may not use anymore because you may ain't got no money, or you know what I'm saying? Like you have to make choices about which you spend your money on, is what I'm trying to say. And I wanted to make sure that what I offer wouldn't really be that, especially if that's your main area of concern.
So you're basically saying that you didn't want to continue trading time for dollars.
Yep.
And that you wanted to get into products, because products, once you solve the right problem, can outlast you pretty much. They can last for a very long time and be a legacy type of brand.
Correct.
Okay.
And then it's businesses kind of like Coca-Cola. They don't solve no problem, but it make you feel good to buy a Coke. So that's marketing, that's branding. But you either got to do one of the two. You got to make people feel real good to buy your product, or you got to solve a problem. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And I think Coca-Cola does solve a problem. I used to watch, there's this channel on YouTube. I don't know if they're still around because it hasn't been recommended to me in a while. Oh, wow. But I used to watch this guy called The Company Man. And then there's another channel, and his channel's name is Magnates Media. And both of them, two different styles, but they both talk about business and the origin of brands and stuff like that. And that's why I learned about Louis Vuitton and the whole origin story.
I have to look this up.
Yeah. And I fell in love with Louis Vuitton. So it's like I don't want to say one of the only brands I have that's luxury, but the one that I have the most of. Mm-hmm. And literally, like, I get so excited. Like, we took our moms to this old mansion. I showed you a picture or whatever, but there they literally had the man's suitcase in the room still. Like, you couldn't touch anything, and it was Louis Vuitton. And I said, I know why that's there, because I know the brand story and how it was founded and the problem. So, like, even with Louis Vuitton, like, the problem he was solving was he was creating suitcases to help people travel, because back in the day it was by ship. And only wealthy people, for the most part, could travel by ship unless you were working on the ship. So he started creating these suitcases, and he had to use really high quality material so that way it could last. Yeah. And then he had to put like gold on it and certain things, because wealthy were the people who traveled back then from like across the sea. So that's how he started off. That's a problem that he started off solving. But obviously over time he has expanded, or the company, because he's no longer alive, but the company has expanded, and now this brand has grown into this mega brand that maybe when you look at it surface value, it doesn't solve problems, but in reality it does. So the same thing is for Coke. I don't remember their exact story, but I did watch the Coke one.
What's the Coke one?
I can't remember the exact story, but I promise. Yes, you have to watch it. I know Frito-Lay, that's in my head, and what the problem was there too. And low-key, he stole from Mexican people, but that's a whole.
Is he Mexican?
No.
Oh,
that's a whole like another bag of chips, literally. But maybe I should do a podcast episode of just about the origin of things and how to solve a problem and all that type of stuff. Because Coke did start off to solve a problem. I promise. I wish I could remember what it was. I want to say it was sport related, but I can't even remember right now.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but like a problem Gatorade solves, right?
You thirsty or electrolytes? No.
They started off. So I went to UF.
I don't know.
Did you know Gatorade got its name from us?
Oh.
Yeah. It was started in Gainesville. Anyway, but we created Gatorade to help our football players and stuff be able to recharge faster so they can win
so
games.
I was halfway right.
You're halfway right. But now it's grown, so it's you lose sight of it. Once it starts making so much money, it's like, oh, nobody knows the problem, but in reality, it's rooted in the problem.
Right.
And so as a new business, as a new brand, you got to start off there, and then you branch out.
That makes sense. So once you become kind of like when you become a household name, it's like
then it's how you like. Obviously, you want to make people feel that way now, but then it's like people remember how you make them feel first before they think about what that problem was years ago that they started off to solve. But because you started their foundation, then you mold into this big brand.
Makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah,
I have to look into that Coca-Cola because I just off the bat said they ain't solved. My bad. I'm gonna have to retract that.
Yeah, when I find out, I'm gonna let you know, and I'll leave it in the comments because I'm gonna go and look before this is posted. So you're saying the good thing about products, like I said, is to be able to build a legacy brand and get from behind the chair. So I'm gonna ask you two questions. One is, what's the ultimate goal with your product brand?
The ultimate goal really is to become a household name. I don't know if I would sell my business or if I would just run it to the end of time. Don't know. Depends on.
What's the end of time? Like when you're gone, you're not gonna pass it down?
Well, yeah, same. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like
keep it in the family. Okay.
Or I run it to the day I die and then just pass it on. Or if I would sell it and make an exit. I don't know, but. Depends on, I cross that bridge when I get there and what money they talking, honestly. But
what's your revenue goal?
For
what's like your dream or I don't know, however you want to answer it, I guess.
I would say in the next 5 years, I would like to have reached. I would say let's do. No, for real.
Like, come on, Chanel.
I feel like in the next 5 years, I could reach anywhere between this is probably too big of a number, but maybe 10 million to 50 million. I would really want to reach that much.
10 million a year? Per year or lifetime? Oh, that's not too big.
Yeah.
That's not too
over
big.
The course of, I would have been doing this for a year officially. Officially a year, with a soft launch. Not even my hard launch yet, but that's coming. That's coming once we get these bottles.
How has the soft launch been? How much do you think on a week basis? How many products do you think you sell? Because I know your content started taking off because it was ruffling some feathers. All the time.
You gotta push them buttons on social media. If you ain't pushing buttons. I don't know. That's what all social media be about. Sometimes it's either you go viral just doing random stuff or you just talking in controversy. But I kind of average I would say maybe being honest because we haven't hard launched the products, but I'm just using my likeness and my name. Maybe anywhere from I sell it in bundles. I keep hitting this mic. I sell this set in bundles. I actually have one. I brought one with me.
So you can
so I don't get it. But okay, so in this box, you got the shampoo, conditioner, hair butter, which is the moisturizer, and the hair growth oil, which helps seal in the moisture and gray hair. So we sell about 15 to 20 of these a week.
Okay.
Which is good for me just posting on social media.
Yeah.
I haven't ran any ads.
Of the foundational sets.
Right. The foundational sets. What you need to get your hair back on track and help any areas of concern. But yeah, I would say about average 15 to 20. Maybe
that's not bad for a soft launch. There's people not doing that with hard launches.
Yeah.
Or launches.
As long as I
quote unquote. Yeah.
But I would say about 15 to 20 of these. And then you also have people who just buy shampoo or they'll buy just the oil or, you got some of those. I get some of those every week, in between, but more than likely people are buying the bundle because it's a better buy. Because obviously your $9.99 If you bought all 3 of those or all 4 of those, you spend more than. Is the $9.99 one encompass all of those? No. Oh well.
No, I thought about doing that though.
Okay.
I thought someone asked me that. And I was like, oh, I should put it all together and discount it. But I wanted that to be rolled out later. I was like, I'm gonna just let y'all.
Something to look forward
to. Give them something to look forward to. So yeah, but I get it. It's like bundled together. It's a greater savings than getting everything individually, which makes a lot of sense because that's from a pricing perspective. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so your goal in 5 years is to have 10 million accumulated, and you want to be a household name overall.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the second question, and this is the last question I have for you, is because you were a service provider and then you transitioned into product and you have a reason for doing that. There's somebody who's probably a service provider right now. They could be like an esthetician or a hairstylist or maybe even an accountant that wants to start selling digital products to get from the day to day or to have more consistent income. Just what would you tell the service provider who wants to transition into products? What are, I guess, your top advice for them? One piece of advice.
Like I said earlier, well, I ain't gonna say the same thing I said earlier. Market research. Make sure, well, obviously you know your market, but kind of see what people need. I was actually talking to my brother about this because he has a detailing company, and he was saying that he wanted to sell something. I said maybe you should sell like a towel or like some cleaning supplies, whatever you would use to just the average consumer can use to get a spot up in their car or something like that. Make sure it's kind of unique to you and you're going to use it every time. Like you doing it. Like don't buy anything that you're not going to use. It don't sell anything that you really not going to use. Like in your content, in your day-to-day day of doing a service and that people might not use. So like I said with my brother, he's going to clean the car. He going to use his cleaning solution to clean the car. Yeah. Every time he clean the car. But if he just did like I don't know, like if he sold tripods or, well, he might use a tripod.
Something that's not related. Correct. I get what you're saying. So you're saying if you provide a service, the easiest transition into products is to find something that's related already because you have the audience. And what you can do is use that audience to give you a boost to go over. That is true because I have seen some people who they're doing something right now and they're very skilled at it, but then they want to go left field because they see that it looks like it's popular on social media. They just pick like something Airbnb. Random. Yeah. Or if we're talking like product examples, they'll be an esthetician by trade, but want to start a boutique because they think it's easy or they think it's fast money. Yeah. Or something like that. And it's like, no, if you are a home stylist already and that's what you do for a service, home decor makes sense for you for products. If you are an accountant, you know, financial, physical, and digital planners make sense for you. Yeah. Hairstylists, hair products make sense for you.
Nails, nail powder, or press-ons.
Yeah. Even for me, HBU, it's an educational stationery company. So it's a mixture of physical and digital products, but we started off with digital first for a reason to test certain things and get data. And now that we have that data, we can now position which physical product is going to come first, but it's still going to align with entrepreneurship and branding. And we're just entering the stationery space from that angle because it just makes sense for me. And there's other brands that I want to start, you know, in the near future. But if this is going to be the thing that you want to be, like, I guess your foundation, since we keep using that word, this is the product brand that you want to be that, then it makes sense to use the foundational knowledge you already have to start that. And then you can branch off and do other things that aren't so related because you already have strong roots. And so one of the people who I absolutely love and I look up to in terms of entrepreneurship is Kevin Hart. He came in and he dominated. And I don't care what people say about him, whether he's funny, whether he's not. That man is business smart. Okay. He is so business savvy. And I watch everything. Especially like documentaries when he's talking outside of jokes, because I just want to hear how he thinks and it just makes so much sense. But yeah, I think this was really good. Yeah.
We got to do this again. We're going to do it whenever you have other guests. Yeah. On for season 2.
Yeah. Yeah. You might still be, I don't even know. I thought about seasons. I was like, do I want to split up into seasons? Should the seasons be just a full year? Should I get to like episode 10 and then start a new season? I haven't figured that part out yet, but
Figure it out when you get there.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out when we get there. But yeah, we definitely should come back and we can dive deeper into. You still think about it?
I am.
We can dive deeper into some of these specifically, or we can do, I don't know, just talk about other things. There's a lot of other things that we can talk about. I really like this game and how it guided the conversation.
You sure did.
Yeah.
We talked about the good, the bad, and the ugly of entrepreneurship.
And the friendship thing can be a whole episode. The products from service can be a whole episode. Money mistakes can be a whole episode. So there you go. 3 whole times.
Come back. I hope you gain something from this too, because we
me or them?
No, them. Yeah, them. I'm looking at the camera.
Oh, okay.
No, I hope if you watching this, I just really hope that you gain something from hearing our stories, hearing our testimonies, and just basically some of the gems that we've given. Because make sure you just got your notebook and you writing this stuff down. Because if not, like I said, don't block your blessings. Make sure you're listening. Make sure you're taking heed. Chew the meat, spit out the bone. So if some things pertain to you, use that, try that. Make sure you always try, but don't go a day without trying to do something working towards your dreams and your goals. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I like that. So this has been another episode of the Hustle Talks podcast. If you're watching this and you're not on the wait list yet for my new membership club, you definitely want to join. It is Bomb CEO. It is more of a community. I don't want to even use the word club, but it is more of a community of entrepreneurs who I am going to mentor and guide to build the skill set, mindset, and habit set to be a multi-6-figure entrepreneur. Okay. And if we're really talking about it, like, I don't call myself a billionaire because I haven't made $1 million in a year, but I've made $1 million over the time of being an entrepreneur. So I still consider myself a multi-6-figure entrepreneur, but don't feel like, you can't learn something from me because I'm not throwing millionaire around. Technically I am, but to me, it's not. So if you know that you are at the beginning stages, maybe you're even struggling to get past the $1,000 mark, $10,000 mark, so on and so forth, I am your girl. I will help you build a brand. And then also, I just want you to be a part of a community so you can find someone who supports you like Kai and I do to each other. And like, the other great people that we have within our lives and within our circles do. So definitely click the link in my description box. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Music, it should be in the link of the episode description as well. And I'm going to see y'all in the next Hustle Talks episode. Thank you. Bye.